What do you see in the next 2, 3, 4 months that we're not anticipating for crypto? I mean, it could be China, it could be more companies adopting it, more fintech moves. What do you think is going to happen that's going to dictate the movement? Where do you think we'll be in 3, 6 months?
So not to sound like the ever bullish guy that I sometimes am accused of being, but I literally see a scenario where we take out the highs in Bitcoin and we have one of these parabolic moves in all the crypto going into the fourth quarter. A little bit, it's like when you go to the Kentucky Derby, the horse that turns the corner at the end always runs the fastest. In investing, in hedge fund investing, I remember, my 12 years of running the macro fund, the assets that are ahead in the fourth quarter usually have great finishes because everyone piles on and pushes the valuations higher. And I see that happening right now. I see this confluence event where the surprise will be, oh my goodness, how do we get to 80,000? How do we get to 100,000? How do we get to 5,000 in Ethereum? That will be the surprise. We've pushed a lot to the downside. We've thrown China, we've thrown regulation, and the market continues to hold, and it's holding because just new money coming in. There was $17 billion of new venture capital that went in the first half of the year. It's just a tremendous inflow of both talent and money.
Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily. My name is Aaron. We have so much to talk about in today's video. There are so many big things happening in America and around the world that signal that Bitcoin and crypto are here to stay, and this is just the beginning. Of course, who we just listened to was the great Mike Novogratz on CNBC with Joe Kernan talking about how he feels based on everything he researches. And he researches a lot, and he's a macro expert, renowned, successful investor. Parabolic moves in Bitcoin and crypto are very possible this year. I agree with that. I liked what he had to say. Make sure that you stay tuned for this second clip I'm going to play you. Mike Novogratz gets even deeper on the fact that Bitcoin is displacing gold. It's cool to see Joe Kernan, kind of parrot back the talking points about why Bitcoin is displacing gold and how we're early in on that. And also he finishes by talking about how cryptocurrency is the world's first global asset class, global industry, and just how early we are on that. I like this. Stay tuned for this. Anyways, let's get started with the Google news, the McDonald's news. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you appreciate the daily content. If you appreciate us bringing you the real content, make sure you check out our Gene Simmons interview. Rock god, Kiss legend Gene Simmons owns 14 different cryptocurrency assets, and in this interview, he gets real with us. Anyways, let's get to it. Google. The headline is this: Bakkt partners with Google to introduce digital assets to millions of consumers. They don't want me telling you this stuff. You hear that? They're coming for me. Anyways, Google will be introducing cryptocurrency to its millions of consumers. Bakkt partners with Google on two things: on payments and cloud services. Cryptocurrency investors will gain access to their funds across both services. Let me give you the details. Crypto trading platform Bakkt announces a partnership with Google today that will integrate payment services across platforms and make use of cloud solutions to build new technologies. So the partnership is mainly focused on payments and making crypto payments easy to do. Under the partnership, Bakkt will be able to add their virtual Visa debit card to Google Pay, which will allow the purchase of goods and services wherever Google Pay is accepted, which is a lot of places. Crypto assets will be converted to fiat currency at point of sale. This makes it easy for the businesses. Bakkt also announced that it has selected Google Cloud as its preferred cloud provider and says that it will build and market business solutions powered by their service. According to the Google Cloud president, Google Cloud has been at the forefront, powering many retailers and merchants, and we're proud to help Bakkt accelerate and scale the availability of their innovative solutions powered by Google technologies. So again, the key takeaways are this: crypto trading platform Bakkt has announced a partnership with Google Pay that will integrate each platform's payment services. Bakkt will also use Google Cloud as its preferred cloud provider. The two companies will additionally work to build new AI and geolocation tools for business insights. You can say this is a small thing. You can say this is a huge thing as far as acceptance and adoption and awareness goes. This is the first step out of a series of steps that I think we'll see many companies make, where eventually Google adds Bitcoin to their balance sheet, or Google starts working directly with Cardano or Ethereum. Small step, yet a big step. In other news, McDonald's getting into the cryptocurrency NFT game in a big way. In fact, surprisingly, this is McDonald's China to give away 188 NFTs on their 31st anniversary. Let's find out some details. Fast food giant McDonald's China releases a set of 188 non-fungible tokens on October 8th to celebrate its 31st anniversary in the Chinese markets. Branded as Big Mac Rubik's Cube, the NFTs will be distributed among employees and consumers as part of the giveaway. The NFTs are built on the Conflux public blockchain and are created in partnership with CoCafe, a digital asset creation agency, ensuring that each work is unique, indivisible, and cannot be tampered with. It is important to note that a majority stake of McDonald's China is owned by CITIC Group, a state-owned investment company of the People's Republic of China. So it's interesting that China is allowing this. McDonald's China's move to introduce NFTs in the market seemingly goes against the authorities' intent to ban all cryptocurrency operations completely. We saw them kick out miners. We've seen exchanges, Huobi, a cryptocurrency exchange from China, that can't onboard new users. Despite all this, keep in mind, Bitcoin mining difficulty has fully recovered ever since all that China stuff kicking out the miners. So Bitcoin's doing just fine, but it's interesting that China's okay with these NFTs. I think China's probably not telling us something big involving cryptocurrency, but I think the even bigger story is that McDonald's, probably the most famous company in the world, what's next? NFTs as Happy Meals? I could see it. Anyways, let's get to some other news. Like always, guys, make sure you tell me what you think in the comments below. Let's talk about XRP. Let's talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, then I'll play you that other clip. Ripple looks bound for profit taking before higher highs. XRP appears to be catching up with the rest of the market after rebounding from a critical demand zone. So this is what you need to know. Ripple's XRP token has bounced off of a crucial support level, posting 16% gains. Now it's reached a critical resistance barrier that may lead to a rejection. A spike in profit taking could push the asset to 117 before the uptrend resumes. So this is what we're looking at with XRP, one trader's analysis. Keeping it on my radar. In other news, and this is a big deal, crypto miners are stockpiling Bitcoin and Ethereum coins. So it doesn't have to be both of them, but in this case, we're seeing miners keeping as much Bitcoin and as much Ethereum as they can. Miners are hoarding billions of dollars worth of crypto. This is what you need to know. Crypto miners are not selling their Bitcoin and Ethereum. The value of crypto assets held by miners has reached all-time highs. Wow, they've never held more. That's how bullish they are. The data suggests that miners see potential in Bitcoin and Ethereum's future growth. Ain't that the truth? Because they see, as the clip we played you in the beginning, parabolic moves, uptrends in crypto, more times than not, usually happen at the end of the year. And with that being said, let's get to this. I do want to talk about stacks. I do want to talk about Avalanche, but I really like how Mike Novogratz finished it about how cryptocurrency is global. This is the world's first global asset class, and Bitcoin will continue to eat gold's lunch, which, if it takes the market cap of gold, would put Bitcoin at $500,000 per coin. Watch this clip, and then we'll finish up with two news stories.
Does gold go along for the ride, or is it displaced by this?
I think gold is getting displaced quietly. Gold was $1,750 when Bitcoin got launched, and it's $1,750 today. And so early in the year, I had a decent portion of my PA in gold, and I finally just kind of gave up on it. I think people that were buying gold are buying Bitcoin. And, we're still only 12% of gold. Maybe my math's off by 1% or 2. And so I think there's a long way in this replacement trade.
It's just interesting if you view it differently. And I think you could read 1,000 pages on what money is, but you do get to the notion that it's a ledger. And what you really need is something that represents that ledger. And gold represented it well because it was immutable and scarce and pretty and in jewelry. It represented it for a long time. But you get a lot of those same attributes with Bitcoin, and some of them even better, because you can't obviously send gold across borders, through space. So it is,
The last thing I'd say is what people forget in the U.S., right? People watch your show in the U.S. and it's mostly U.S. stocks. Crypto is global. It's the first global asset class we've really had, where it's more important to people in Nigeria than it is to people in the United States. But it's almost all over the world. People are having these conversations, and I was remembered that this morning when I logged into 4,000 people in London.
And finally, let's talk about DeFi and NFTs on Bitcoin. You probably heard about Stacks. Well, Stacks is blowing up 57% after Bitcoin NFTs on Stacks take off. So this is happening. We will keep you informed on how the Bitcoin NFT and DeFi space develops, like we're seeing right here. And then finally, guys, talking about Ethereum and Ethereum interoperators and competitors, actually talking right here about Avalanche. 335 projects in 12 months, rapidly growing Avalanche ecosystem. You can see it right here. So Avalanche is definitely part of the conversation. Let me know what you think about everything we talked about in today's video. Talked about a lot. If you appreciate us coming at you on the weekend, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, watch the Gene Simmons interview. That being said, see you tomorrow. It's going to be a great Q4.